Good evening, Wired fam. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another Wired for Crappie live show. I'm excited to be on tonight. Sorry we missed you guys last week. For those of you that follow Wired on Facebook, you probably saw why we missed you guys last week. I am a little more coherent than I was last week. Last week had some procedures done, some testing done, a couple different things. Was a little out of it last week. So first of all, thank you to everybody for the thoughts, the prayers, the messages, the calls, the texts, everything that you guys did. So I appreciate that very much from everybody out there in Wired Land. But we are back this week and we are ready to rock and roll. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. We're going to talk about some tips, some techniques, some different things, summer crappie fishing, right? We're going to talk summer crappie fishing. So let me grab my sweet tea because we can't have it live without the sweet tea. So we're going to talk a lot tonight about summer crappie fishing, techniques, tips, tricks, that sort of thing, about how to catch these fish when it's hot. You know, you hear all the time from, real quick, before I get off on my tangent, if you would, drop me a line, drop me a comment, say hello, let me know where you're from. Guys, let me know where your home lake is. I always like to see, where we're reaching out to. I always like to be able to say hello to you guys back in the comments. We are live now on Facebook and on YouTube. So we got multiple screens going at one time, and I do bounce back and forth a lot. So if I say, hey, I got a comment, this is the comment, and you don't see it on the YouTube screen, it's probably because it's on Facebook and vice versa. If I mention a comment and you don't see it on the Facebook screen, that's probably because it's on YouTube. So if you're tuning in on Facebook, we do go live on YouTube. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, we do go live on Facebook. So, hey, either or, we hit you from both sides, okay? So thank you again, first of all, for being on tonight. And let's see who all is on tonight. John Peterson from Cleveland, Parksville Lake. I am going to fish Parksville. That is one of my goals before the end of this year, is to get down and fish Parksville, because I have heard that there's a lot of crappie on Parksville. There's a good population of crappie in Parksville. And I want to get down there and see if I can catch fish on Parksville Lake. So that's a very good to know, John. Glad you're with us. And keep an eye out, because that's on my list to do this year, is Parksville Lake, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So how's your crappie fishing on Parksville, John? You catch a lot of crappie down there? Kenny Hendricks, what's going on from Maryville? What's going on right here in my hometown? Paul Gwynn, what's up, Paul? Paul, I think Paul's quitting fishing, guys, because I see all of Paul's stuff listed online for sale. So I think Paul's quitting fishing. Paul's having a yard sale. If anybody's looking for some good stuff, Paul's having a yard sale. Let's see. Chris Sims, good evening. Glad to see you walking around. I am. I'm up and going. Hey, you can't keep a good man down. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't keep an average man down, okay? You can't keep him down. It's hard to keep that stank off poo, you know what I mean? So hey, I'm up, I'm going, we're getting and going, and hey, we're doing it. So asleep, what's going on, everybody? Everybody say hello to Chris. Asleep the real. Chris just had some complications himself. I think he tore a rotator cuff. Get your nuts cut last week. No, did not get my nuts cut last week. Thanks for asking though, Chris. No, that's not, no. No, I do have 3 kids, and my wife has mentioned that to me, but that ain't going to happen. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to go down that road. I can't do it. I can't. It's mental for me. I can't do that. I've been blessed to not had to yet have the need to have that done. I'm not starting now, I don't think. So never say never, but right now that one is not on the table for sure. For sure. All right. So Stuart Ferris, good evening. Polly Edwin, Penguin Blue Waving Tear. Ed here from Lawton. Okay. All right. What's up? I'm not sure, but waving tear. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that was I don't know. Maybe that was supposed to be an emoji. I'm not sure. Anyway, hello. What's up? All right. Crappie Kev from Ashburn, Virginia. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Nathan Wood from Wabash, Indiana. What's going on, Nathan? Stuart Fair, Southern Illinois, Lake Egypt, Wren Lake. Very good lakes up there. Very good lakes. Wren Lake is a good lake. Crab and Lake. Salamoine Reservoir. Hadn't heard of that one, Nathan. That's a new one for me. Salamoine, did I say that right? Salamoine Reservoir, is that right? Neat. Hadn't heard of that one. Salamoine. I'm saying I pronounced that right. We're going to take a stab at it anyway. All right, so let me ask you guys a question to start out with. So while you're right there at your keyboards, okay, and at your fingertips, are you guys fishing in the summer? Who fishes in the summer? Who doesn't fish in the summer? If you do fish in the summer, do you have good success in the summer? Do you not have good success in the summer? Do you struggle to find fish in the summer? Do you find large schools of fish and have no problem catching fish? Do you not fish because of the boat traffic? That's the big thing I hear in the summer the most is, man, I can't stand the boat traffic. I don't want to get out there on the lake with all the boat traffic. All these people out there that are just crazy. They don't know, they run by you, you get waked out. Look, I'll say this, as far as boat traffic is concerned. We sit here as anglers and talk about the ski boats and the pleasure boats and this boat and that boat and the wake boats and this, and we got to remember, or you guys and myself have to remember, that whereas we might frequent the lake more often, especially here in East Tennessee because we fish year round, but we still don't own the lake. And they have just as much right to be out there as we do, unfortunately, in some instances. And, hey, once you get that mindset of they have the right to be here just as much as I do, and the aggravation doesn't really last that long. It does get a little aggravating if one comes in and just turns circles around you. Yeah, that gets a little aggravating. But the sooner we get our mindset set that, it's going to be okay and we can still catch fish and we can still have a good day, even when the boats are there or gone, the sooner it is or the easier it is just to let it go, keep fishing, and just keep your head down and have fun. So try it. Try to get your mind wrapped around, this is their lake. This is my lake. We do coexist, have to coexist. The sooner you get your mindset wrapped around that, you'll be fine. You'll be all right. And it gets easier after that. So Terry says, I had both my shoulders done, one last October, the other in March. It sucked. At Chris Gill. So, yeah, shoulders are nothing to play with. Anytime you have something that you have to have worked on, it ain't no fun. So, wish him all the best. Hope everything goes well on that front. John says, struggle with summer crappie. I guess I should start telling you guys where these are at. John on Facebook says, struggle with summer crappie, and if anyone asks, there is only like 2 to 3 fish in Parksville. Yeah, there's no crappie in Parksville Lake. We're not going to fish there, and when we say we're going to Lake X, then, nobody knows. All right. That's a good point. John. Maybe we should keep some things a secret. Hard to keep things a secret on YouTube. I'm just saying, it's hard. It is hard. All right. Let's see what everybody's got for me over here on YouTube. So John struggles a little bit with summer crappie. We're going to try to change that tonight. Johnny from Oliver Springs, what's going on? Not far from me at all, sir. You are not. Kenny Hendricks says, my son and I fish early morning till about 10:30, 11-ish, and do fairly well, especially if you give us advice at the boat ramp. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Hey, I did give you a little bit of a tip, okay, that morning at the boat ramp, but I didn't go catch the fish. You guys went and caught the fish. So don't take that away from yourself, because you guys went and put it into motion and caught fish yourself. I didn't do that. I just pointed you in a little bit of a direction, and you guys did the rest. You still got to go catch them. So, hey, I was happy to hear you guys had a good day and caught fish, and, that's what it's all about. It's that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys be more successful, become better anglers on the water, and just overall have fun, right? That's what we're here for. And that's, I'll say, with all the boats and the pleasure boaters and this, that, and the others, I mean, we're here to have fun, guys. Just go out there and have fun. And don't get stressed out on the lake. Don't let things upset you. Don't let other boats upset you. Don't let people fishing in your spot upset you. Don't let, life's too short. You see all this stuff on Facebook and on YouTube now about people bickering and arguing and fighting and screaming and yelling and, at each other on the lake. And it's like, why? I mean, love thy neighbor, right? Love thy neighbor. And when you're on the water, that guy next to you is your neighbor. That boat next to you that's pulling their kids or pulling their spouse or pulling their friends or jamming out to the music. Man, I get up and dance with them. And big old wake boats come by and they're jamming out to Sean Paul or something. And I'm up there on the front of the boat. I'm like, give me some, I'm like, what's up? Right there. Yeah, I just have fun with it. I mean, that's summer fishing. That's part of the experience. It's part of the fun. Go out there and cut up with them and act a fool. And, hey, if a wake comes by and throws you in the lake, at least you're not hot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least you got some, a way to cool off. And then, hey, maybe a fishing trip turns into a swimming trip. That's okay too. I hope you guys can swim. If you're on the lake in a boat, I really hope you can swim. But you know what I mean? I mean, just go out and have fun. Make it about fun more than who's messing up your day or who's messing up your fishing or who's throwing a wake on you or who's, just go have fun with it. Yes, it is extremely frustrating. It can be if you let it get to you. You know what I'm saying? So just go have fun. That's what it's about. But 10:30, 11-ish, that seems to be the trend that I hear in the summer. Most people are like, hey, I'm 10:30, I'm 11 o'clock at the most. Then the rats come out. It gets hot. I'm off the lake. It just is miserable after that. And I would tend to agree. It gets hot quick. And what I've experienced is, again, about that 9:30, 10:30, somewhere in that range. All of a sudden, you're sitting in the front of the boat. I'm sorry, I got hiccups all of a sudden. You're sitting in the front of the boat, and all of a sudden, you're just like, God, is it me or did it just get freaking hot? It's like it is miserable hot. Next thing you know, you're rubbing on sunscreen and trying to stay from getting burned. But yeah, again, 10:30, 11 o'clock is what I hear. But let me tell you, with that 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're missing out on some really good fishing. You say, well, why is that, Matt? What are you talking about? How am I missing out on really good fishing? I'm going to tell you. Picture this, okay? Picture this. Early morning, you go out there to go fish. Sun's low. Okay, you got your lake. All right, and picture this. Let me use this as an example. You got your surface of your water, okay? You got your sun. Sun's real low, okay? That sun's beaming down like this at an angle, and it's hitting that water, and it's reflecting off. Okay, because the sun's low and it's reflecting off the water. Okay, it's just like if you if you were to take a tennis ball and you were to throw it on the concrete floor here in my garage at an angle, it's gonna bounce up at an angle, right? It's gonna reflect off the water. The sun's rays. But as that sun gets up in the morning and it starts getting more and more overhead, that sun's going to start penetrating the water a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more until it gets right up over that top, like you're talking about 11:30-ish, 12 o'clock-ish, and it's going to be coming straight down, right? Yes, I know it's hotter than crap in the middle of the day. In the afternoons, it's hotter than crap. I get it, okay? But I'm telling you, you're missing out on some really, really good fishing. Why? Because what happens, okay? Let's say you got a brush pile. Okay? And those fish in the morning, they're out here floating around. They just got done eating bait all night long, up on the flats or wherever. They just got done eating bait, and they're out here fat and happy, floating around, yada, yada. And that sun starts to get up. And that fish goes, oh, wait a minute, it's getting bright. I'm going to move over here. That fish swims on over, and next thing you know, he's right up on this brush pile. And then that sun gets up here 12 o'clock. Where's he at? He's right up underneath that brush pile. I mean, he's right there in the middle of it, right? Because that sun puts those fish in the shade, in those shaded areas, under laydowns, under docks. Did anybody watch the video that dropped today? Who watched the video? Show of hands. Raise your hand right now. And your wife all looked at y'all at one time and said, what are you doing? Well, Matt told me to raise my hand. That's what I'm doing, right? So if you didn't watch the video today, don't leave the live show to go watch the video. Go watch it after, okay? You can watch the video anytime. It's cool. It's probably I absolutely think it's probably one of my better videos. I really do. I got some really cool footage, and I got some really funny stuff kind of in the video, and I just had a good time putting it together. I got a laugh out of it. So I thought it was one of my best videos. But again, back to the sun. That sun gets up overhead, and it puts those fish right in the brush piles. And my uncle used to tell me, and I've told people this for years, what's up, Tom? Tom Claxton in the house. So I've told people this for years. My uncle used to tell me all the time. He's like, hey, man, I'm going home. I'm not going to stay out there crappie fishing past 10 o'clock because after 10 o'clock, crappie quit biting. What? What'd you just say? Uncle David. Now, I might be, rest his soul, I may be a stupid person, but crappie quit biting after 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah, crappie quit biting after 10 o'clock. He used to tell me all the time. I said, man, you're nuts. You're crazy. He said, no, I'm going home at 10 o'clock. Okay, whatever. So, what you're experiencing there, now he wasn't wrong. The crappie quit biting the way he wanted to catch them at 10 o'clock, okay? But they don't stop biting. They migrate to a different location. So 8, 9 o'clock, you may still find them on brush, but when you find them on brush, they may be sitting up here in the top, or they may be sitting right over here on the side, or they may be sitting right on the edge of the brush, and they're all like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Oh, there's a jig. There's a stump bug. I'm going to eat that, So by midday, they were kind of right he was kind of right, because what happens is, that sun gets up high and it just pulls those fish tighter and tighter and tighter to that cover as the day moves on. So if you're catching fish early morning and all of a sudden you can't find fish, and a lot of times those fish, they're deep in that brush, man, you won't be able to see those fish hardly at all. Even with live scope, you're just looking and you're like, is that a fish? Well, listen, in the summer, okay, you can get right up on those brush piles when those fish. Good evening, Jeff Smith. What's up? Joel Nash in the house. Facebook a lot clearer. Yes, I like it. Facebook is a lot clearer. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it is. It's Facebook pretty clear. Anyway, so what happens, okay, is you get up over top of those fish, and they're so deep in that brush, and they're so far down, and a lot of times they'll lay under, like if there's there's vertical structure and there's a piece of horizontal structure kind of towards the bottom or something like that. They will actually get up underneath that, like a log or something that comes through there, and they will get underneath that, and they'll just kind of all gather up underneath a log, and they'll just sit there and they'll wait, okay? And a lot of times you have to vertical jig those fish, and when I say vertical jig, I ain't talking about just bouncing a jig along, okay? What you'll have to do is you'll just have to get out there, and you'll have to locate those fish, and you'll have to drop that jig down, and you'll just have to sit there and hold that rod as still as you can right there in those fish. And you want to hold it right above their head, and then you'll see that glob or that big ball that's sitting down there, because a lot of times they'll get so tight down in that structure that they just look like a mass. It just looks like a ball. And you're like, I don't know if that's fish. You drop a jig right down there over top of their heads, and all of a sudden they all start moving, and you're like, holy crap. There's a lot of people, they say, well, man, I went to 15 different brush piles today, and I didn't see a fish on nothing. Did you stop and really examine that brush pile? Did you really look inside that brush pile to make sure there wasn't any fish in there? Because a lot of times, especially in the summer is the worst, okay? They are so stacked in there, they're so grouped up, and they're so tight in that structure that they will literally look like just a mass down there underneath that brush pile. And you can just sit there and hold that jig. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little trick that I always have done, okay? It's a little tip of the week from Wired. Don't tell nobody, okay? It's a secret. A lot of guys, when they're vertical jigging, they will raise that rod tip up, okay? Pop that rod tip up, pop that rod tip up. They'll bounce that jig. Stop doing it. Don't do it no more, okay? Put that rod underneath your arm like this right here, okay? And bounce it down, okay? Boom. That's it. Boom. About 2 inches with the rod tips, all you need. Just doink, doink, okay? A little bit of a drop, okay? Drop. Why a drop and not up? Can anybody tell me that? Why do I say down and not up? Can anybody tell me? Does anybody guess? Down. Bump. Bump. Can anybody tell me why? I'm going to give you guys a second. See if anybody can tell me. I'm going to watch my comments. While I'm waiting, I'm going to look at some comments. Chris Sims, he says, I fish in the summer when my boat works. Trolling back a couple miles in the heat is not as fun as it sounds. Lots of laughs. Didn't you just get a new boat, Chris? I know that thing ain't quit working now. If it has, lemon law. Didn't you just get a new boat? I guarantee you that thing's working, because that thing was beautiful. I saw pictures and a video. That thing was gorgeous. Congratulations on the new boat, by the way, Chris. Johnny says, I don't like the boat traffic. They have the right to be there, so I fish for stripers at night, trolling, and still have a great time. Well, that's great. You know, that's what it's all about, getting out there and having fun. You know what I'm saying? James, I fish in the summer, but not so successful. Catch a few Lake Chickamauga. I'm going to help you out, James. We're gonna talk about Chick, because that's one of the best summer lakes. Best summer lakes. All right, RNT's Crappie Obsession. He says, what's up, Matt? East Tennessee. What's going on? Jackie Jordan, I love it. Warm trolling plugs. Absolutely. Pull them crankbaits, baby. Pull them crankbaits. I got one sitting right here beside me, as a matter of fact. I got them crankbaits. Yeah, crankbaits. I love pulling crankbaits, too. One of my favorite ways to do it. As a matter of fact, we hadn't done a crankbait video yet. We need to do that. I have actually went on 2 guide trips, pulling crankbaits on 2 separate guide trips already this year, and absolutely wore fish out. Had a ball pulling crankbaits. But I need to do a video for you guys, because I hadn't had a chance to do one yet. Okay. John Peterson says, finding the strike zone. He's talking about the bump. Okay. The drop, not the up, the down pop. I'll call it the down pop, not up pop, down pop, down. What's up, Joe in the house? Joel Nash. I already said hello to you on Facebook, but I'm going to say hello to you on YouTube too, since you're on both, it looks like. R&T got beat by a small pebble. Amen. Amen, brother. Hey, that's the way crappie fishing goes. What's up, Matt? Great show earlier. Thank you very much, Mr. Chester. Thank you. What about the night bite? So the night bite, I used to night fish a lot. I don't too much night fish anymore. Reason being is because I have 3 kids. And, when you go fishing all night and then your kids want to play all the next day, you don't get a whole lot of sleep and you end up just like zombied out. You're zoinked and you're like, So I don't do a whole lot of night fishing anymore. But yeah, you can. My night fishing, I would always look for areas of existing light. Okay. Look, you can spend money on lights and you can go have fun and catch fish, but look at it this way. Okay, you're out there for one night fishing, and those crappie are out there every night. Okay, so if there's a marina or there's a dock or there's something, God, I thought that was thunder. It's my kids running around upstairs. If there's a light on a dock or a light at a marina or something that's there and on every night, you don't think those crappie don't know that there's a light on every night at the marina or on every night on a dock in, at Louisville Point on Fort Loudon Lake? You don't think that those fish know that light's on every night? They do. So that's what I would focus on. I would focus on areas that had light on them, and generally had light every night. And that's what I would fish. Okay. And I would go to those areas and take lights and set lights out. I wouldn't just fish that light that's existing. I would actually take lights and set up close to those areas. But that's how I night fished. All right. Polly says, because fish are down, not up. So again, boom, down, boom, not up, not up. That's a good one. Not it, but that's a good one. Crappie usually hit on the fall. Yeah, that's a good one too, Kenny, but that's not it either. All right. Wrist gets more sore going up. Joel said wrist gets more sore going up. No, that's not it. That's not it. Finding the strike zone, John says. No. Good evening, Jeff Smith. If I didn't say hello on Facebook, I think I did, but if I didn't, hello. All right, let me tell you guys. Why do I go down and not up? Okay, down. So let's say that we're trying to mimic what? What are we trying to mimic? When we're out there with a jig, okay, of any kind, whether it be a stump bug or a slim stick or a mini slim stick or a crappie reaper or whatever it is we're out there fishing with, okay, whatever it is you guys' flavor of the day. You're trying to mimic what? You're trying to mimic a shad or a minnow or something that the crappie generally eat, okay? Which lately I've had to pull mayflies out of my live well because crappie will eat mayflies. I'm just telling you this. Why do you think I use pumpkin and chartreuse? Pumpkin and chartreuse, baby. It looks like a mayfly. All right. So what do you again, you're trying to mimic a bait fish, okay? And if I'm a bait fish, okay, and I'm sitting in front of a crappie like this, and a crappie's looking at me, and I'm just sitting there, well, okay, it's a minnow sitting in front of my face. If that minnow jerks up, first of all, it goes above my eyeballs. Second of all, a bait fish that may be struggling, listen to me now, don't shoot me down when I'm preaching good. A bait fish that may be struggling is probably not going to go up if it's, getting ready to die. Probably not going to go up. It's probably going to fall down. And then when it wakes up, it comes back up. Okay? Think about that. So I'm a bait fish, and I'm sitting there, and I think, I can't do it anymore. Oh, wait. Wait. So if I'm a bait fish again, that's on its last leg, dying, getting ready to croak, I'm probably not going to go up and then back down. I'm probably going to go and then wake up, then up and wake up. So that is why I say bump down. And you don't have to do much. It's not a big, you're not smacking the water with your rod. It's no more than just a couple inches on the rod tip, just boom, boom. You're not moving that jig. And 2 inches on your rod tip is going to move that jig 4 to 6. I mean, it's not, just a couple inches on your rod tip is going to move that jig a lot more than you think. But again, down. Okay. So that's my method behind the madness. Some good guesses. That's my method behind it. Try it. I'm telling you, it'll help you. You will catch more fish with that down than you will up. I'm just telling you. Try it. Tell me I'm wrong. Try it and see. Just try it one time. Don't hurt to try something once. Give it a go. Let's see. But no, Joel, it'll hurt your wrist either way. Doing this all day. Doing this all day long. Now, you're not doing it that often. I mean, you may, the way I do it is, I may be just doink, and I may sit there and hold it for 30 seconds and then doink. And now that we have live scope out, right? Now that we have live scope out, if the fish aren't reacting to our jig, we can see that now. And it's pointless sometimes to have a jig down there. Now, I will say in the summer, when some of those fish are lethargic, you can put a jig down there in front of their nose for minutes before they react to it. And if I'm sitting on a fish and I know it's a good fish, I will play that fish for several minutes before I call it quits. Okay. So I'll sit there and I'll mess with that fish. I'm rather going to do one or two things. I'm rather going to make that fish leave wherever he's sitting at because he just gets ticked off with this little purple and chartreuse thing in his face, or he's going to hit my jig. Okay. So I'll sit there and play with a fish to try to get him to bite if it's a good fish. If I'm fishing a tournament and I need a good fish, that's what I'll do. But, man, I've told y'all this a million times. I'll tell you again. If you're not on active fish, leave. Go find active fish. A couple guide trips ago, I took a guy out. We're on a brush pile. We caught 6 or 8. They shut down for 2 minutes. It wasn't 2 minutes. And I'm like, they're done. Let's go. He's like, whoa, there's still 30 fish down there. And I'm like, they're done. Let's go. He's like, we're leaving? I said, yeah, we're leaving. I said, we ain't caught one in 2 minutes. We were catching one every cast. I'm done. Let's go. He's like, whoa, okay. And then about halfway through the trip, he looked at me and he goes, I see what I'm doing wrong now. I said, really? And he said, yeah. I'm staying in one place way too long. I said, that's 90% of crappie fishermen. 90% of crappie fishermen stay in one place too long. And, if you look at it like this, okay? You go fishing for 2 hours. That's 120 minutes, okay? Out of 120 minutes, you fish a brush pile. Let's say you stay on a brush pile 30 minutes, which is way too long. But let's say you do. You're only fishing, call it 3 brush piles in that day, okay? You're fishing 3 brush piles. Now, go back to you fish a brush pile for every 10 minutes, okay? Because you pull up for 8, you're catching fish. You sit there for 2 more. You don't catch anything. You go to the next one. Guess what? Now we're fishing 12 brush piles instead of 3 brush piles. We're increasing our odds. A lot of crappie fishing, guys, is odds, okay? And a lot of tournament fishing is odds. It used to be, but who can locate the most fish with their live scope out in open water now? Who can cull through the most fish, or who can hit the most brush piles or hit the most docks in a day? Or, a lot of it's a numbers game. It's odds. Ray said, just put a minnow on it. There you go. But a lot of it is odds. And, if you stay on a brush pile too long, again, think about it. Would you rather sit on 3 brush piles for 30 minutes a day for your 2 hours? Or would you rather hit 12 different brush piles and present your bait to that many more fish? Okay. The more fish you present your bait to, the more fish you're going to catch, inevitably. Okay. So once you find active fish, catch the ones that are active and then move on. Who cares if there's more fish there? They're not biting. You're not going to get them to bite. You might get one more to bite, but you're not going to get them to bite. Okay. So if you get on fish, they're biting and quit, move on. Go to the next one. Let's talk about Chickamauga, because somebody said Chickamauga earlier. I love Chickamauga. Chickamauga is used to be one of my go-tos, not so much anymore, because when I lived in Madisonville, which we're in Maryville now, but when I lived down in Madisonville, I was a lot closer to Chickamauga. So went there quite often. Chickamauga was my go-to summer lake, that and Tellico. I considered those my home lakes, really. Those are the 2 lakes that I really learned to crappie fish on, was Chickamauga and Tellico. So Chick is probably it's one of the best summer lakes that we have, okay? And you're going to say, well, why is that? Well, there is a absolute buttload of black crappie in Chickamauga. Chickamauga has a higher black crappie population than any other lake in East Tennessee. There isn't another lake in East Tennessee that has a higher crappie or has a higher black crappie population. Okay. And because of that, black crappie absolutely love docks. They just do. They just love docks. And Chickamauga has no shortage of docks. And there is an absolute buttload of docks that hold fish down there. And you can absolutely annihilate the fish on docks in the summer. Deep docks, main channel docks, docks in the back of the creeks, shallow docks, marinas, just about anything that's got a cover over it down there. Bridges. Oh, the bridges. Just about anything that's got a cover over it on Chickamauga, you can catch a crappie off of. And during the summer months, even more so. So, if you go to Chick, give it a go. I'm just saying, give it a go. But same thing. If you catch fish and then they stop, move. There's so many different spots to fish, guys. Move on. Go to the next one. Go run around a little bit. For God's sakes, it's warm outside. Everybody's like, I don't want to fish tournaments in the summer. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I love it because I can hammer down on the throttle right back here, and I can wear a sun shirt and shorts like I have on tonight, and I can blow down the lake with my hat turned around like this right here, and we can just get it. And I don't have to be, trying to go down the lake in January. So, yeah. Are you going to catch the same class fish? Probably not because, summer, it's hot. They're lethargic. Those big ones kind of lay low for the summer a lot of times. So you're probably not going to catch the same bag that you would in the winter. But at least you're out there and it's comfortable and you don't have to fight the elements. The elements are horrible in the winter. But summer fishing, so much fun, blast. For me, that's one of my favorite times of the year to go. This summer has been a little weird for me because I've had a lot of trips this summer, and normally don't have that many in the summer. Normally it slows down in the summer, but a lot of people are starting to fish that time of year. So that's good too. Buck Collins, what's up? Buck's in the house, guys. Everybody say hi, Buck. So again, docks are a great way to catch them. Probably my go-to for a dock is something dark. I want something dark when I'm fishing docks, something with some chartreuse, something that's visible in darker water, something that stands out a little bit, a purple and chartreuse like that right there, or a black and chartreuse, or anything with a chartreuse tail really would be great. White is good under docks. Just something that's got some contrast that stands out. Some of the glow baits, are good under docks. Bonehead has a moon glow bait that is really good. It's like a silver and glow. It's glow on one side, silver with some silver flake in it on the other. Very good bait, especially under docks. Something that is going to pop under that dock and get those fish's attention is what I'm looking for. Fishing with Tito, Slab King checking in. What's going on, man? Rusty Prophet in the house. What's going on, Rusty? Long time no talk, bud. Have you got your boat out lately? Has your wife given you the pass and letting you get out on the lake? We got Douglas coming up. Are you going to be Douglas? We've been missing you. You going to come fishing? All right, in your back door. Great time of year for Douglas, too. August the 30th. Is the next East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail event, August the 30th, and that is on Douglas. It is a sections event, so we will get broke down into sections. We will draw our section the morning of the tournament, and we will know where we have to fish, which is really fun. I enjoy it. I really enjoy the sections tournaments because, you can think you have a plan, but then you show up the morning of the tournament, and your plan just gets shot all to crap. Because you think, you know what, I really want to fish in Muddy Creek. Well, then you draw section 3 and you're down at the dam and you're like, well, I'm not going to go into Muddy Creek this week. Let's see. Plan B is, and then you have to kind of go from there. I love that because, it first of all keeps me on my toes. And second of all, keeps you sharp. So I enjoy it. Buck Collins on Facebook, he said, August 30th is opening weekend SEC football. Well, all I can tell you is record it. You can record the football game. You can't record the crappie tournament. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll record that football game, watch that joker. When I get home, I'm going fishing. All right? Because guess what? I can watch that SEC football game in the dark, sitting on the couch. But I can't fish any other time than tournament hours. So I'm going fishing. I'll record that joker. You know what I mean? Yeah, around here, everybody wants to schedule around SEC football. However, Tennessee plays every week, so we got to do something. We got to do something. We got to fish sometime or another. You know what I'm saying? I had one guy one time. This is funny, but I had one guy one time. He's like, "Can you not just schedule the tournaments when Tennessee plays away games?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not pulling the Tennessee football schedule and scheduling our tournaments on weekends that Tennessee is away. I'm sorry, I can't do that." I was like, I got to put my schedule out before Tennessee does. I'm not, I can't do it. It's like, well, you could change. I'm like, I ain't changing it, man. I just can't do it. I've had people around here now, guys, I'm telling you, SEC Tennessee football is like, what is it, Buck? Help me out. What's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? It's gospel down here. There we go. It's gospel. Guys don't like messing with it. So, you know, hey, I get it. But tap the record button. Tell the wife, record that for me. We got the DVR. If you don't have the DVR package, get you a DVR package. It's great. Hit that record button, baby. Let's go fishing. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Rusty says fishing for striper. That's what I'm talking about. Ready to get back to crappie fishing. Unfortunately, I have a prior engagement that day. Oh, man. I wanted to fish the big fish, but my wife made me go to Folly Beach. Hey, I'm getting ready to go to Folly in, October, right? So, Charleston, that is. But we're going to go to Folly. Probably going to stay in Charleston. Brantley and I are going to take the 1548 down. And I had showed you guys the boat. I'll probably do a video on the boat because we put some more upgrades on the boat. We really have outdone ourselves on the aluminum. So we've done some more work to the aluminum. Need to do a video because we're going to take it out and do a little crappie fishing with it. Probably, I don't know, may go this weekend. Try to do a video out of the John boat or out of the aluminum boat. May go Chick. Go Big Orange. That's what I'm talking about. John, there it is. Go Big Orange. But we are actually, Brantley and I are actually going to go down there and do a little red fishing. Probably hit the Wando. Probably hit Folly River one day. Probably hit the Wando one day. And then may hit Gearin Creek one day. May hit Folly. Well, I don't know. May hit Folly River twice because may hit it once for reds and trout. Hit it again for sheep's head. Don't know. Hadn't really planned it. Just off the top. But we're getting ready to go down and do that in October, which you guys will get to see all that. So that is part of the plan anyway. Who watched the Jekyll Island trip? That was a fun trip. We had a good time down there. Caught a lot of fish. Unfortunately, my day one footage got nixed. I don't know what happened to it. Day one was better than day two. Day two, we caught a lot of catfish. Day one, we didn't catch any catfish. We caught trout. We caught a couple. Let's see. We caught a shark, pretty good sized bonnet head. Caught trout, and what else did we catch? We had redfish, trout, and a shark. I think we caught about 30 the first day. It was a little bit better day. Caught a lot of caught a lot of catfish that day. But anyway, I grew up in the salt. I've told y'all that before. I grew up in saltwater. Muckala tackle. Stop at Big Fish Outfitters LLC and grab some. Macula tackle. 1/16 ounce dream jig for the win. I got you. You talking about on saltwater? Or what are you talking about? Stripers? I think Corey's talking about stripers. But anyway, I grew up in saltwater, fishing down in Southeast Texas, and that's part of who I am. It's part of my fishing. And Brantley loves it too. He's really getting involved in it. And I know my box is crappie, guys. I know, I'm the crappie guy or whatnot, but and that's kind of my box is crappie. But I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. I want I want Brantley to experience all the different, my son Brantley, which you guys have seen a million times. I want him to experience all the different types of fishing and, figure out what his box is. What does he fit into? Where does it fit for him? Plus, Big Bite has some saltwater series baits and a couple different things going on with the sponsors that, I can lend a helping hand on. So looking forward to that. Big Bite has a prawn or a shrimp imitation that is pretty nice. Looking forward to using it down there. So see if we can't put it in some redfish's faces. All right, Rusty says, God says Sunday is a day of rest. In Tennessee, Saturday is a day for Vols football. Yeah, that's right. Well, that doesn't leave us any other days, Rusty. We got to have a day for fishing too. So if Saturday is Vols football and Sunday is a day of rest, we're out of days because a lot of us have to work all week. Yeah. Corey says, come up to Minnesota ice fishing for crappies, not now in December. You holler at me in December and I will come. I've wanted to go up there for years and fish, ice fish, but just never have. I mean, look, that's a whole different world. I know it is. You got to have the tackle. You got to have the ice house. You got to have all the equipment. Well, I've got the clothes. I'm not worried about clothes. We got the clothes, but I know it's a whole different world, and I'm not set up for that world. We just don't get ice down here, but I would absolutely love to do that. So you holler at me. Our fish are tight to weed lines currently. They get more active during early morning and late afternoon. Got to get. Hang on. I can't see the rest of it. I'm clicking on it. There it is. Got to get an education feel to know the difference from a bluegill bite to a crappie thump. Yeah. Well, I got the crappie thump down pretty good. And the bluegill bite. The bluegill, I got that one down pretty good. Bluegill is I call it the machine gun hit. And then the crappie is just a thump. So we got that one down. But yeah, you holler at me in December, Corey, and if that invitation is open, I'll take you up on it. All right. We're going to call it for tonight, guys. Again, get out there in the summer. As the day progresses and gets further along, get tighter to brush. Crappie will group up in brush. They will find shade. Find shade, you'll find your crappie. Shade can be under a brush pile. It can be under a bridge. It can be under a dock. It can be under a lay down. Look for shade. Look for cooler water. Couple degree cooler water, guys, is a big deal for those fish this time of year, especially going into August. So, after August, it starts to wane a little bit because, you start seeing some cooler nights and temperature drops and, it kind of starts to change and that fall pattern takes place. But look for some of that. And of course, this question, do you have confidence in scented plastics versus, I'm not a believer in scent. You guys have probably, a lot of you guys have been around a long time. I'm not a big believer in scent, but it doesn't hurt. Okay. Is it going to change? Is it going to change your fishing? No. Does it kill your fishing? No. If you put it on your bait, is it going to make it better? Nah, I don't think so. Is it going to make it worse? No. So, if putting scent on your bait makes you feel better about using it, then go for it. But I'm not a big believer in scent. Contrasting colors, contrasting the water you're fishing, that I'm a believer in with your jig colors. But I'm not a big believer in scent, no. The Vols seem to win when I don't watch them, so let's go crappie fishing. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. All right, so we're going to call it. I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, God bless. Hope you guys will watch the video. If you hadn't watched the video that dropped today, go back and watch that. Leave a comment on the video, like the video, and share the video if you don't care, please. Those shares help out a lot more than you guys may think. It's all part of YouTube's algorithm, which is so messed up that I can't even explain to you how it works. But if you hadn't seen that, and if you're not on the YouTube channel, if you're not a subscriber, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel because it does help, okay? So as always, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. God bless. We will catch you guys same time, same place next week, and watch out for those video drops. So appreciate it, guys. Catch you on the next one.